We knew Pink Floyd when they first came over the first time. They were a club band.
Yeah.
And we played with them, and it was Alice Cooper and Pink Floyd, and I love these guys. The lights are going, and insane echoplex.
Yeah.
But boy, they were weird. I
Yeah.
mean, Sid Barrett was already
Gone. Yeah.
he was already on his
I
way.
never saw them.
Oh man.
I may have seen them at the Speakeasy Club in London.
Yeah.
But because it was so dark in there, and they were all prismatic, that psychedelic lighting.
Yeah.
They could have changed personnel every day, and you wouldn't have noticed.
It was the weirdest
And I didn't know
show.
till
Yeah.
about a week ago that they were after me.
Yeah. They said they were all afraid to ask you to come be in the band.
They were afraid?
They said they were so nervous. They were so nervous. They nobody would have enough nerve to come in and ask you to play, to take Sid Barrett's place.
How incredible is that?
Yeah.
I never would have thought they'd have given me the light of day, but...
Oh no! I mean, that's But I think everybody feels like that,
Yeah. So that and the Rolling Stones, I could have, it'd have been all right financially, couldn't I?
It would not have been bad.
No, I don't know. I wasn't ever in the stars. I probably wouldn't have. That I couldn't feel the calling.
Yeah.
Having whoops! I just whacked that thing. Either with the Stones, there was something going on up there that definitely would have prevented either of those from happening.
Yeah, I think so too. Woody was the perfect guy for that band.
He was.
Because he was.
It's a good job I recommended him, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it true? That's true. Oh, well,
I didn't want to walk out on them and leave them dead, because the fact that I'd actually turned up was a signal to them that I'd actually committed. Not the case. I'd already agreed to do the Blow by Blow album. It was all set. They said, come over and play a couple of tracks. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And then when I went to go, they went, where are you going? So, it was a shame, really. Me and Keith would never have got on.
No. No, it was funny, because I saw McCartney one night, which was spotlessly clean and could not, it sounded like the record. And then the Stones were gloriously sloppy. You know what I mean, though? But you kind of wanted them to be sloppy.
On an Olympic scale.
Oh, it was like, I asked Charlie at the end, I said, do you guys know any endings? He says, no, we really don't. We never practice. We just stop the song somewhere. Yeah. But that's the Stones,
It's the miracle of the Stones, where you can say what you like. The press can say the most derogatory things about them, but they still sell in massive arenas.
And you know what? I kind of like the fact that they're a sloppy bar band. Yeah. I think that makes it cool for them,
It's a design of sloppiness that only they have.
Yeah, it's great. I agree with you. I don't think that your kind of guitar playing would ever fit in that band, because
no.
it would stand out.
I actually picked Bill's guitar up, his bass guitar, and I started playing like Larry Graham, and dust flew off. It smelled like an antique shop. And he said, "Oi, you're going to break string." I went, "All right, Bill."
Yeah, I'll leave that one alone.
I welcome you back on here, and if you're new, consider subscribing, liking the video, and also share the video. Now, after the loss of the legendary guitarist Jeff Beck, a man who had the most of the rare gifts as a musician, a man who never played the same thing twice, a talented man, and yet no matter what he played, he did it with really a huge mastery and intention that made it sound like he'd done it that way all his entire life. That was Jeff Beck, a very talented man. We lost him just a couple of days ago, and it was really very, very devastating. As we are still waiting for the funeral arrangements and all the messages from the family that can actually confirm the dates when his homegoing service and funeral will be held, we'll be continuing to look at some of his long-lasting, interesting interviews, his legacy. We'll be remembering his works. We'll be looking through his music. We'll be analyzing and also paying tributes to the legend, Mr. Jeff Beck. So we'll be, as I've told you, we'll be making a couple of analyses. We'll be looking through his legacy. We'll be actually commemorating and also pay tribute because he deserves it. He's a legend, to be honest, and this is a man who should never be remembered. For a perfect example, one of the reasons why we can't forget Jeff Beck, for example, just look at the 2 albums, by the way, he released within a year. I think that was around 1992. That year he released 2 big albums. To clarify that this guy was really talented, when you listen to those albums of 1992, that soundtrack even of Australia TV miniseries Frankie's House, though they are 2 unrelated albums. Imagine an artist coming out, releasing 2 albums, but completely different, interesting. You know, he was really talented. So when you analyze those 2 albums, it really clarifies what I've been saying, that Jeff Beck was really a very talented guy, because his music could never be the same. He could never make a copy and paste. It's such a huge talent which is going to be missed. So one of the 2 of Jeff Beck's legacies, and actually things which we can look into to remember him, they said that his music frequently verges on the avant-garde, a million miles removed from the rock and roll spirit of 1993's Crazy Legs, an album of Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps covers, which finds Beck performing not perfect renditions of classics like Race with the Devil in a tribute to his #1 guitar hero Cliff Gallup. So when you look at that performance he did in 1993 of Crazy Legs, the album of Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps, when he was commemorating and paying tributes to his guitar hero, that is Cliff Gallup, you can really tell how talented Jeff was. So those are only 2 of Jeff Beck's examples. Actually, this is a man, like I told you earlier on, who left us on January 10th, and also the jazz fusion Jeff Beck had on Blow by Blow, the blues rock power trio Jeff Beck of the Jeff Beck Group, and the Beck Begot and Appice, the electronica experimentalists. These are all things that actually clarify the huge talent Mr. Jeff Beck had. So they are saying that the electronica experimentalist Jeff Beck had on the 1999's Who Else? Remember that killer guitar solo that he lifted on John Bovey's Blaze of Glory Up So High? That was really the talented Jeff Beck doing his thing. As a guest musician, you could always hear him on tracks from artists including Donovan, that is Becky's Unmistakable, and Baba Jagal, Stanley Clarke, Rod Stewart, Tina Turner, Kate Bush, Malcolm McLaren, Seal, the Double Z Top, Brian May, The Pretenders, Vanilla Fudge, Duff McKagan, Morrissey, Paul Rogers. He's even on the Ozzy Osbourne's 2022 album Patient #9. So he wrapped up his recording career with one of the most legendary collabos that he actually did with Johnny Depp, a collabo that actually left everyone in awe, because such an old man collaborating with a young man Johnny Depp and coming up with such a huge nice project was really awesome. So we'll be continuing to look at his legacy, the works he did with Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, and so many guys, the Yardbirds. So he was really a talented guy, and we'll always remember him. In this moment in time, all we can do is to continue sending messages of condolences, sending prayers and messages of sympathies to the family, friends, and everyone who was really touched by the works of Jeff Beck. Rest in power.